both came into this relationship with a similar goal and passion. And so I think we were both willing to commit to this project and the show that we were both equally passionate about. And then while that was happening, we became friends.
It's a very obvious sense of team, I think, between the two of us. I think there's, from day one, he and I knew that if this was going to be successful, that we had to have each other's backs. We had to get along in a way that wasn't just like, oh yeah, we work together. It was like Cass, in the first year, which we were the same way. It was like, oh, we get along famously. We love each other and we love the crew, and it's just great. But I mean, we have 10 years to prove that we really do get along as, as a partnership, as a team, as brothers. I think it shows up on film, and I think that it would be hard to fake that.
We'll probably be better friends when the show's not going. If you're around anybody for 70 hours a week, you hate them in some way, shape, or form. So when we're able to just be buddies, it's like, oh, hell yeah, let's go hang out. That's partially a joke. I do remember the first day. It was in the library.
Well, I was thinking up in Vancouver. Yeah, of course. The first day would have been the pilot.
In the library where Sam and Dean are going through whatever you call in the old school libraries where you put the cards in and you...
Where you roll?
Yes, I 100%
I do, out in Glendale.
You don't even know what that means.
I don't do, but if you tell me, I'll just follow your lead.
God, I'm bad at that. He is hashtag what's a hashtag.
He is hashtag why do I always have to explain myself to Dean?
That's true. There we are. Hey, I'm Jared Padalecki.
And I am Jensen Ackles.
And you are watching TV Guide Next.
Hi, this is Melanie McFarlane, IMDb's TV editor. In this episode of What to Watch, we take a look at the CW's hit drama, Supernatural. Angels, demons, vampires, demigods, gods, and everything in between, Sam and Dean Winchester have fought them all, saving the world a few times in the process. And 10 seasons in, fans are still revved up for more hunting trips and road adventures with the Winchester brothers. During its 10-season run, Supernatural has constructed a complex mythology that spans pantheons, dimensions, and time periods. But it all started with the Winchester family business, demon hunting. Thrust by their father into a life of pursuing agents of hell in a quest to avenge their mother's bizarre death, Sam and Dean Winchester, played by Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, have battled archangels and Lucifer, stopped all manner of otherworldly creatures, and burned a lot of rubber on the open road in Dean's 1967 Chevy Impala. Somehow, though, the boys always make it back for another year of fresh challenges.
Sam, I know you think you're gonna try to fix me. But maybe I don't want to be fixed.
A Winchester? One of us?
Where's my brother?
Think of it. The King of Hell, Dean Winchester by his side.
Nothing here to see, just a kill out room, trying to kiss some tea, trying to figure it out.
Together we create the perfect hell.
Nothing better to do when I'm stuck on you. I'm still on here trying to figure it out.
Did he say anything?
Where's the porn?
Oops.
We caught up with series stars Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki at the 2014 Television Critics Association Summer Press Tour in Los Angeles. Tell people what Supernatural is about.
We're now in our 10th season. We've been about sort of a multitude of things, but at its core, it's the story of two brothers who are trying to fight the things that go bump in the night to make the world a better place.
Quickly, that turned into searching for their father. Their mother was taken supernaturally, so that kind of sent them on their course. And along the way, it turns into a whole whack of things. I mean, leading from not just the ghosts and the goblins that are making their way through small towns that the boys have to come in and fix. But we've gotten now to season 10. Now we're dealing with heaven and hell and angels and demons and the Armageddon, and so it has become much bigger than these two brothers ever thought would ever happen. But the reason that they're still relevant is because they are very important pawns in the game that is between heaven and hell.
Not many shows can go for 10 seasons and keep on renewing both their audience, growing the audience, but also renewing the storylines. What do you think is Supernatural's secret to keeping everything fresh, but also bringing in new viewers?
That's a great question, and something that Jensen and I have talked about. I mean, we've literally talked about it on the flip side, going like, man, we're going into season 7, going into season, like, are people going to stick around? Are we going to start, like, are we going to be one of these shows that gradually, all of a sudden, people look at us and they're like, you're still making a show? Like we don't want to be that. We don't want to be that. We don't want, because we love our respective characters. I love Sam. I've known him for a while now. You know, he loves Dean. He's known him for a while now. So I want to protect Sam, and I want to protect Dean. I want to protect the show, and I want to protect our fans and our fandom, and they have, with their loyalty and commitment to us as a show, deserves the reciprocal back to them, and it's our responsibility to give them a great show, and to really work our asses off, because they're spending a lot of their time and hard-earned money to support us.
I've been asked about, you know, what can we attribute the success of the show to, and I always kind of go back to what Eric Kripke, the creator of the series, said to us maybe the second episode that we ever filmed. And he said, listen, at the end of the day, this starts and stops with the brothers. And what you guys do and the relationship that you carry on throughout whatever it is you're going through, that's what people are going to follow. That's what people are going to latch onto. And he really drove that point home. He's like, listen, I can write all the frills and thrills around these brothers that I possibly can, but at the end of the day, it's how these two relate to each other and how they relate as a unit to the outside world.
How many times has your character died?
More than I can count. I mean, I think in one episode he probably died about 15, 16 times. Yes, and that's the nice thing about this show is that we're not really bound by reality. The title of the show is Supernatural, so we can really bend the laws of reality as much as we want, and we can break the fourth wall, and we can bring people back from the dead, and we can have these kind of supernatural elements to our show that not a lot of real shows. You're not going to get people coming back from the dead on a cop drama. That would probably throw the forensics team into a tizzy.
Who's died more, Sam or Dean?
That's a great question. I think it's Dean, because Dean died so many times in one episode. I think that puts him over the top. I think Mystery Spot, I think he died. You know, there was a montage where he died like 6 or 7 times in a row.
Oh, so, that's right, yeah.
You know, the shower and these tacos taste funny, and the dog.
Yeah.
So I think he edged me out, but maybe by season 12 or 13.
That's not something you want to catch up on.
I don't want to catch up on. Yeah.
Let's not compete on that front.
Yeah. Hopefully, the next time I die will be the last time I die.
With Dean in particular this time around, it occurred to me that this may be the first time that you get to act as a character that's not really yourself, whereas Jared was able to do that in the past with certain things, where losing his soul or being occupied by another being, those kinds of things.
Right.
So this must be kind of interesting for you. Also, I find it interesting that we're going to get a chance to see what exactly it is like to be a demon, because we've seen so many demons,
right,
but we don't get to experience it. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So yeah, now season 10, I'm not. I am some weird hybrid of myself that is also demon, but is not just a regular demon. He's a demon with the mark of Cain, which adds a whole different element to the situation, which you will see in season 10.
So I kind of laughed at Jensen this year. I was like, this year I get to be Sam. I don't have to create a new character, and you get to. So it was your choice to direct. So
are you giving him any tips?
Oh God, no. He's fine. He's got it down. My tips to him are, hey, you did this to yourself. So I jokingly say to him all the time, I'm like, listen, man, if you weren't so good, they wouldn't make you do so much stuff. So you should start trying less. And we kind of tease each other.
Dean? I think the spell worked. In fact, I think it worked a little too well.
What?
I think you might be a dog.
What?
You're scratching your head. You're barking at the mailman. You're playing fetch.
I'm excited about the season. I'm excited about kind of this new Demon Dean character that we're going to see. They're really writing some interesting things for him, and then to see how it all kind of comes back, and then how that folds into the mythology of what this new season will be about. And look, we as long as there's good story to tell, and we're all still excited about telling it, then I don't think there's any slowing down for us. As long as the as long as people keep watching it and keep staying as excited as we still are about it, then I think it's who knows when the end is going to happen.
Not many series can boast about retaining their creative momentum and the enthusiasm of their fan bases after 10 seasons. But Supernatural is a series that constantly renews and reinvents itself, anchored by Jared and Jensen's amazing chemistry. This is a show that delivers thrills, frights, humor, and tragedy in just about every single episode. And if you're a classic rock fan, you'll be delighted by the heavy metal references and the amazing soundtrack. All of this makes seasons 1 through 10 of Supernatural what to watch.
Demon Dean or regular Dean?
Well, in this particular episode, Demon Dean was a little easier because he was tied up most of the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Misha, obviously when we last saw you too, you had your own.
He's just the guy to have around if you're in a jam.
Or if you want to jam.
Or if you want.
You know the difference?
I like it.
Dean's would be rolling through town, no strings attached, interested? Similar to my personal one.
Must love dogs.
Well, there's certainly a benefit to living with a character, living in the skin of a character for so long as you have done. But what is the largest challenge of living with a character for that long?
It'll be having to let him go eventually.
Eventually.
I think that's a good question. He said living with a character for so long, what's the biggest challenge of living with that character? And I said it'll probably be letting him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be really difficult. I want to think about that. But I think in my opinion, the biggest challenge of living with a character is solved frankly, by the show Supernatural. Because usually a character becomes stagnant or stale or boring. But we do so many crazy, wild things, and we're able to because the fans forgive us and they stay with us. And Supernatural is such a show that you can do anything. You can become a demon, you can become an angel, you can go soulless, and you get to explore all these new different facets. It's not like we're playing guys who are in high school and now there's a romance with this person. Now there's a romance with that. What's next? Like, what's going to happen? It's this crazy, bizarre show where we can literally go anywhere, and we almost have. So that's the most difficult part of currently living with a character, is making sure he doesn't go stale. But
we also have each other to bounce off of too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the equalizer. It's like I've got Dean and I've got him in my head and I've got all this stuff, but then as soon as they yell cut, it's like he and I kind of bring each other right back out of it, and then we're Jensen and Jared again. So there's a nice balance that comes with having somebody that you work with so close. As opposed to somebody like Stephen Amell or somebody like Tom Welling, who's really kind of solo, flying solo. In fact, he tells Stephen all the time, he's like, it's too bad it's just you, because having a partner in crime is really the way to go.
Yeah, shoot. Having to be so close with Jared in the show, how did you go about transitioning on screen to going to more of like a business-only relationship with him? You guys kind of separated as brothers for a good bit. How did you pull that off?
Well, I mean, the story kind of dictates a lot of how we play certain things. So it's, we've been playing these characters for a long, long time. We're very comfortable with adapting the character to the situation. This just happened to be the situation that we were dealt. So the fact that Sam said some things that Dean was surprised he'd say, you just got to let him process that and figure out what that does to the relationship, and then you obviously saw that because the writing played it out. But oddly enough, those kind of doing a scene where it's strictly business and we're not palling around like brothers in maybe a previous season, as soon as they yell cut,
were exactly the same as would be on either one of those, certain storylines. So the working environment doesn't change, the working relationship doesn't change. It's just when they yell action, the way the characters relate to each other, that changes. So, Jeremy and I talked, and he's like, maybe you do your hair a little different. And I'm like, all right. So I didn't cut it quite as short, so it gives me somewhere to go. Like when I get back to regular Dean, I can like shed that a portion of that kind of facade. But he's very it was, to answer your question, it was really difficult. It was also difficult because I was introducing the character and also directing that episode, because we shot my episode first so that I could prep without working blah 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 technical stuff. So I had to really prep. It kept me up nights for 8 days, and I got it to a point where I knew that I could just set it on autopilot once I got to set, as far as the directing, because I homeworked it so much, and that way I could focus on bringing this new character to life, which was nerve-wracking. It was like, am I making sure I've got the coverage I need for Jared's side of stuff? Oh wait, I need to be focusing on the lines that I'm about to deliver, because I'm not doing it like regular Dean, which I could just snap into. I've got to think about this whole other mindset.
And
so
a dual
it was,
role.
and absolutely. So it was tough, but challenge. I like to challenge myself, and that's where I get the gratification. So, and thank you guys.
And I got to the hotel, and my nanny's in town with the family, so I went and had a margarita at a Mexican place in Brooklyn. And I get to the hotel, and I'm walking down the hallway, and there's this giant guy. It's now 12:30 in the morning, and there's this giant dude, and he's staring at me. He's right near the elevator where I need to go. And I'm like, you're him, right? Yes, no, I don't know, it's all right. And I was like, well, I don't know, maybe? Supernatural? Yeah, so anyways, we take a picture, and he works there. He ended up working at the hotel. And so I was a little lost. It was kind of confusing always. And he's like, where are you headed? I'm like, 2:30, whatever the room was. And then, so I go at 2:37. It wasn't 2, it was like 2:60 something, whatever it was. It's now like 12:45 in the morning. I'm about to get to bed. And I'm now in bed, in my underwear, watching CNN. CNN is not sexy, guys. It's just news. It's just a news channel. It's not that sexy.
Underwear.
And knock on the door.
Baby.
And I was like, man, these people in Jersey are crazy. It was the guy. I was like, hey man, in my undies. And he goes, how can I be an extra on Supernatural? I was like, I'm naked. It's 1 a.m. It's a good thing I wasn't on the phone with my wife. Like, hey baby, go to bed. Knock. Who was that? A huge dude, I swear to God. What? I see him more than I see my brother. So, give me a hug.
Anyway, Bob was very specific. It's like there are two that I know are most certainly about that subject. And
I just found out that, something, relax, don't do it. There's only like an 80s, VH1 80s. I'm gonna walk for it.
I'll got that song in my head.
Relax. Don't do it. We're gonna go. Oh, that's not me.
I think a lot of us women know that you like wearing sex underwear.
Yes!
And if anybody doesn't know, men that like to have comfortable underwear.
For the men in the audience,
Right.
A year and a half to talk
look
about
them
junk.
up.
Awesome.
They're brilliant.
And what I'm wondering is, how long is your average day of work?
I'm sorry. I blanked out somewhere after how long is yours.
Average day at work.
Average day of work?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
pun intended. 12 hours. I think I'm actually blushing. That might win the best non sequitur of the day. That's number one. How long is the day?
That was awesome.
It's going to be a commercial. That's awesome.
Thank you.
But when you're on the phone, like I was Skyping with my kids, and my 9-month-old can't speak yet, but he tries, and my 2.5-year-old can. We're actually just on the way here watching videos of my son running around his daughter, trying to play. I'm sorry.
Just a half, guys. Just a large with this, and then finally, she just a little hint, and she's like, "It's too much. It's too much." And that gave me such gratification. I really enjoyed that scene.
How many donuts did you go through?
You know what?
I went through probably. It's probably what, half a dozen? It's probably probably 5 or 6 donuts. And I don't really eat donuts. Not because I don't like them. So it was a nice excuse to be gluttonous that day.
It was. And you asked for mine, but I'm going to say one of my favorite scenes in season 8 to film was Interior Country Church night with Sam and Dean. Sam, you said good people had to die for a better good, Dean.
I know, but not you.
Look at him. Look how close we are. Other people are going to die if I don't do this.
No, think about it. What we know now, pulling souls from hell, curing demons, hell, ganking hellhounds. We got enough knowledge on our side to turn the tide here, but I can't do it without you.
Anybody recognizing it? You can barely do it with me.
What?
Come on, Dean. You think I screw up everything I try. I need a chaperone. Remember?
No, that's not what I...
That's exactly what you meant. You know what I confessed in there? My greatest sin?
This is Jared and Jensen reading Sanity.
How many times have I let you down?
How would they
You mean the sex?
What? We were sitting in a diner talking to this character, this actress. So she was sitting opposite Sam Dean, sitting in the booth. And she goes into this long spiel about, I don't know what she's talking about.
Her childhood.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. And I don't know what happened, but she just started drooling. And it shocked her as much as it shocked everyone else. So literally, hit the table. She's like, "Oh my God!" And of course, the scene stopped, and we all kind of laughed, and we're like, "Hey, look, if that's the worst you've looked, then you'd be surprised at how horrible we've looked."
And then Jensen and I turn to each other and go,
"Yep." So it was on her coverage. So we finished her side of the scene, and then there's a big turnaround. And they get all the cameras on the other side. Now they're shooting our side, and just as they were marking it with the slate.
Scene 1, take 2.
Take 1, okay, roll sound, quiet everybody, lock up set, roll sound, and, a camera marker. Jared and I just take a little drink of water. And then she's got this big, long speech. And so we're just sitting there. And then I think I had the first line, and so I just went, blah, blah, blah.
Just tons, copious amounts
And it
of
was
water.
probably a little bit more water than I needed, but
got the point.
But it worked, and so that's, those are the kind of pranks we do. It's either not really thought out. It's just like, oh, well, there's an opportunity. I guess we're going to have to do this now. So I'm sure you'll see that.
Why are you drooling?
Oh my God.
Brian's the reason I carry this.
Hey.
I'm just showing you.
Obviously, though it's not technically a blooper, Eye of the Tiger was pretty epic. And he would actually like to perform it for you today. You actually...
I think I just had a heart attack.
You actually are performing Eye of the Tiger in front of a larger audience than they have performed Eye of the Tiger in a long one.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, thank you.
Thanks for that. Generally this.
Mine, and I swear to God, this is honestly my selfie pose. I'm checking my teeth and for boogers. And that's it.
And when we're on set, he just does that to me. For any of those who are on Twitter and happen to follow. Nobody? So nobody. There was a picture that what did you say? Tweeted. I put out there. That was a selfie of Jared and I sitting in the Impala. This is how little selfies I take. My camera, the selfie one, is busted, so I can only take pictures the other way.
Right.
So I don't. So I actually took that with Jared's phone, and then he texted it to me, and he was like, "You post it." Like, why do I gotta post it? He's like, "Cause I want to see it. Post it."
Well, it was like we were sitting there. It's one of those crazy moments where you're on set and you're like, "Wow, it's the last day of shooting the 200th episode. We're sitting in the car shooting the last scene of the 200th episode. This is cool, man. Like, this is Sam and Dean sitting in the Impala shooting the last scene of the 200th episode. And that's it. And I was like, I got a little warm and fuzzy. And I was like, and my window was up because the way they were shooting, I had to have my window up, so I couldn't do like selfie arm, plus this arm doesn't quite work yet. And so I was like, Ackles, dude, pop a selfie, let's tweet it for the fans. It's a cool moment. And he's like, okay. And he gets his phone out.
And I have it the other way to where you can't see yourself.
Yeah. And so he takes like 2 or 3, and one has his face, and then like 3 feet of the car. The other one's like, crotch. You should put that one. You should post one.
One is too low. Remember the first one I took with yours? And literally, if you're sitting where you are, Kevin Parks, our AD, our first AD, was like this. It was just all ass.
Face, ass.
It was like a selfie of me and Jared and Kevin's derriere.
And I was like, dude, do a selfie, like do a proper one so we can see what we're shooting. You're a director, frame the shot. And he's like, my selfie camera doesn't work, or whatever it is. So I'm like, see here, take this, fine. And so I just texted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have to understand that when taking promo photos, we probably average about 300 to 500 snaps of the camera. So at some point in there, if my lips go a little pursed, it's probably because I'm annoying. And then that's the one they pick to use. It's not me going,
He did it. He did it.
yeah, you can keep your sunshine, Lion King. There was probably one in there where I was like this. They didn't want to use that one. So if there are some repeats of faces that I make, it is not my decision to use those in the promo ads. It is somebody else. I literally just show up and take the pictures. Sometimes I'm smiling, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes maybe I'm giving them a little blue steel. I don't know.
We don't get approval necessarily for those shots. So you take them, and it's true. It'll be, and I think every time we've done them, it has been fly in on Saturday after shooting, go straight to the CBS Radford or wherever we're doing a photo shoot, and it's like 6 to 8 hours of photo shoots, and all the really douchey stuff turning around, and like you feel like a douche, and you look like one too half the time. And then once they take those, and you're tired because you filmed in Vancouver all night, and then you got on a plane to LA in the morning, and then you're sitting there, and we're actors, we're not models. So.
Are you sure?
That's not true, I used to be. I believe it's widely known that at the age of 13 and 14, I was the J.C. Penney's catalog pajamas young man. And
does anybody have that?
Yeah, that brick pants was actually not a modeling thing. Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
He lost a bet.
That was a promo photo, I forget what for, and that's the outfit that the costume designer picked out for me. And this was at a time where I was like, okay. The other one was the cowboy hat. It's not me going, hey guys, why don't I take my shirt off? It's them going, hey kid, why don't you take your shirt off now? Now? That's, okay, are we doing that? Okay. No, see, I've learned to say no now. Somebody says that to me now, I'm like, and the shoot's done. No, but it's, that question would be better directed towards like the publicity department. Like, how come all the pictures that you choose of Jensen are with duck face? Maybe I'll ask them that. Be like, yo, guys, what's up with the duck face? Why not the nice... You know, you got Lion King over here with rays of sunshine flying out of his... And I'm just clapping off to the side. What gives?
I want to see the Supernatural season 10 promo of you like...
And you're up on a rock and like all your majesty, it's just like freaking light rays shining out of every orifice. It's like golden locks of mane hanging. And then I'm down here going. That's it. There you go. There's a season 10 DVD box right there.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I got in love with a Mexican girl. Nighttime would find me at Rosa's Cantina. Music would play and Felina would whirl. We're gonna work on that, don't you worry. We'll figure that out. We'll have it down. We'll have it down next time. I promise. That's for Rusty. It's a little... Rob's like, oh my God, what are you doing?
We worked on it. But we're not as familiar with the country songs. So we come from a 4/4 world, and that's in 3/4. So we've got some homework to do, Mr. Ackles, and we're going to get that for you. Hey,
It wasn't classic rock when Jensen was in high school. It was current rock.
Beyond recovery.
There's a video of you guys doing everything you ever do, isn't there? I mean, isn't everything you ever do captured on video? This is it. Last question. It's happening right now.
What? This is it?
Last question.
Okay, make it
really make it important.
Really
This is the last question.
No pressure.
For the Jared and Jensen panel. This is it. You're representing everybody in the house right now. There's a lot of questions that haven't been answered, so I don't want to put pressure on our guys.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're doing that.
It matters a lot.
Yeah, no.
It's a very specific moment he's got to share with the crowd right now. It's a big deal. And this is the last crowd ever. So I think, to make her feel more comfortable, let's get her up here.
I think it's probably slow.
If you guys could really get up in her personal space, I think that'll make her feel.
You could just have a seat.
Nice. There you go, right here. There you go.
Just have a seat.
Last question of the panel.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll represent all your thoughts, feelings, and concerns and love for the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the last question of the panel.
One of the things that makes you two such good actors.
Good choice. Nice start. Nice start. Good opener. Good opener.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah, the barometer's already like here.
It's good.
Start good.
It's the little mannerisms that Dean has, and you have.
Sam?
Okay, we started good.
You got the important name.
Started good.
No, still good. You're on the show too, right?
The other guy.
And so my question was,
Dean, and you're on the show, yes?
Whoever. Dean and not Dean.
You're on the show, right?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
What's his face?
Okay, yes. The mannerisms that we have.
is there anyone that you would like us to know about more, pay attention to?
Any of the mannerisms that we do that help create our characters?
Yes.
Is there anyone that we want you to pay attention to?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Kind of like a tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Or that makes you more your character than like if you're just chilling out being.
Like a tell, or maybe more like a facial tick. Maybe
Well,
like
I could rat one of Jared's out.
I can not let Jensen's out.
Perfect. Let's rat each other out. So one of my favorite tells, Jared, I know, and they may cut it out. You may not see it, but it may slip itself into the show every now and again. I can tell when he has either A, forgotten his line, or B, completely gotten out of the scene and is now, it's my line. Which sometimes happens because, we say it over and over and over and over again, and sometimes we just kind of drift, our minds drift. But Jared it's such easy tell, he'll do this. It's the clearing of the throat. And the slightly longer pause, which they cut out so you don't see that, but in filming it, I'm like, he doesn't know his line. I'm like, or welcome back. Well, there he is. Hey, buddy. Hey, we're back. And it's the Dean. Did you know you do that?
Hell yeah. Now, Jensen's also, they might cut it out every now and again, but there are certain scenes, not all of it doesn't happen all the time because it's not in like funny episodes, but in the big time mythology episodes, where I know it's something big. It's either the season premiere or the season finale, or Sam has died, or Dean has died, or Crowley's died, and I can see Jensen, I can see the wheels turning, and I've known him long enough to know what he's thinking. And when the scene is getting really intense, I know he's thinking to himself, yep, time for duck race.
There you go. Now you know it. Thank you for the question. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is Jared Padalecki. That man is Jensen Dallas. They are super
Look, jet ski thieves.
There's a lot of empty seats up here. We're bored of it. They're like, can we move up?
They're backstage waiting for yours truly.
We need like the Oscars. They have like the seat fillers, you know?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Which is really odd because he and I have been fortunate enough to be in the audience of a few award shows, and it's always nice when someone gets up to go present, and then you get a perfect stranger next to you who you've had a conversation with a person, and now you look at them and you're like, yeah, hi. So what's going on? What do you?
I was with the kids yesterday, and my son Tom, the older one, always wants to see horses, and so he always in our internet. He always, whenever he wakes up, he always goes, Thomas, do you have any dreams last night? He goes, But what do you dream about? Horses. It's like, again, that's every single night you've been alive. You dream about horses. So he wants to see horses, and he wanted to see them, and we were in my office, and I was like, all right. So I go to YouTube, and I plug in horses, and there's like a video of horses doing some sort of dressage, and there's this like dance beat music to it, and so he starts doing this. It's just like, dancing. He goes, Daddy, dance. Dance in circles. I was like, so I've been circle dancing, which is nice for quad development.
You're gonna have to add some corners there, and then you'd be square dancing. I don't really think that's square dancing.
It's square horse dancing. If you heard the music, you cannot properly
square dressage dancing.
It was like Skrillex meets, what is it? Jazzercising?
Prancercising. Yeah, let's not talk about Prancer. That's a sore subject, if any of you know.
We had
Jared's ex-cat.
Yes, we had a cat named Prancer who
had being the operative word there.
He's no longer prancercising on Earth. He's prancercising in cat heaven with the Winchester brother.
Full disclosure though, I have done yoga one time, and that was the last time. And for some reason I was like, I agreed. It was a friend of mine. I was like, oh, you gotta come. It was just the girl friend of mine, and she was like, oh, you gotta come. No, yeah, actually, yeah. And it was the hot yoga. Bad idea. Just not a good idea for your first time or any time, really.
And yoga's hot anyways.
And I was about halfway through, you know, after all the questionings of why am I doing this, and this is absolutely ridiculous, and I could see parts of that man that I don't want to ever see in front of me, and then I started to get and it just nausea, just a wave of nausea hit me. And so I just kind of slowly started to collect my things, and it was just gonna sneak out. And the instructor was like, sit down.
Word dog. Sit down, word dog.
Yeah, sit down, word dog. And I'm like, no, I'm going to throw up. And he's like, no, you won't. I'm like, yeah, pal. It's about to be Puke City in here, and it's your studio. So, and he was relentless. He was like, sit down, you will be fine. Sit down, take a drink of water,
was it
and take deep breaths. Yeah, it was like, this is not the puke you're looking for. And so, at this point, I was like, okay, your class, buddy, your floor, I ain't cleaning it up. And I sat down, and I laid down, and I basically fell asleep for the rest of the class. But that was my one experience with yoga, so that's...
Did you wake up in the pool of puke?
Pool of sweat.
Pool of sweat.
Which I already was in. And then I didn't actually end up throwing up, but that was the first and last time that ever happened. So.
Yeah, I've been yoga.
It's better when it's not hot.
It's much better when it's not hot. Hey, look, I don't knock it for, it works for some people, it
not work for me.
Or it worked too well.
I have a hard time just staying in a sauna without holding some pose for 10 minutes.
Say, look out! Sam! Oh, Sam. Sam! Sam! Hey! Hey, come here. Come here. Let me look at you. Oh, hey, look. Look at me. It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad, all right? Sammy? Sam! Hey, listen to me. We're gonna patch you up, okay? You be good as new. Huh? I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna take care of you. I got you. It's my job, right? Watch after my pain in the ass little brother. Sam? 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 Sammy? No. No, 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 no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sam!
Right at the very end?
Probably 4.
Okay.
I guess, because that's when I was doing demon magic.
Right. Thank you. I mean, he was there. When you got stabbed in the back and you went completely limp.
You mean my body limp?
Thank you.
Clarification.
Good thing Jensen was there.
It's a G-rated show. Wait, that was season 2.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing demon magic training. That was the yellow-eyed demon child. The original Hunger Games.
Yeah, that was...
That one.
I lost. I got stabbed in the back.
You did. You died instantly.
Yeah.
But during rehearsal, did you guys like do that on purpose? Because Jensen, I mean, your acting was ridiculously amazing to both of you.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
wait a second. I was acting dead.
No.
Which my dog can do.
That was her going. That was her going. Jensen, you were great. Jared, you were also really great. I mean, you were playing dead, so it's.
No, but
What's the question?
okay. When your head snapped back, like, did you know that? Did you know that he was gonna do that? Because you caught him. You're like.
Me?
Was that like all practice?
When
or
I
was it spur of the moment?
ran and like slid and held him before he fell over.
Yeah, but his head just like.
It probably wasn't practice.
No, that wasn't practice. That was just.
That was for the moment?
It just worked out. No.
Good lord.
Well, I knew him well enough to know that if he goes down, he's gonna go limp. Like he's gonna go down. I gotta get there to catch him, whichever way he falls, and that just happened to be the way he fell. So I caught him to,
Throughout the entire scenes, I mean, that one just really stuck out for me.
Oh wow,
That's pretty cool. That's the first time anybody's ever talked. That's the first time in 200-something episodes anybody's ever talked about that. So that's cool. No, not you. That's my broken shoulder. It went limp again.
Medic? Oh, I mean, it's very similar. I mean, he and I are fortunate enough to kind of take this journey together, not just the supernatural journey, but also becoming husbands, becoming fathers, and so it's nice to have somebody to bounce it off of. And then just the other day, it was one of those kind of step back, scratch your head, and be like, how did this happen? I get a picture, our wives were hanging out, so were our children, and they have one of those double strollers so that they can push around both Tom and Shep. And I get a picture of the double stroller, and it's Tom and my daughter JJ in the stroller. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, these are our kids now, riding around in the same stroller together. What happened to us?
And I'm gonna sell them out a little bit. I got that same picture from my wife. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'm on the way home, and I get a text from Jensen, It's like, these are our kids. I was like, don't go all cheesy on me. No chick flick moments, huh? It was nice to turn that around on him.
But it is indeed funny that he and I are both like, oh, we got to go back to work so we can actually get some rest. So it's there's been a lot of changes, but the nice constant has been the fact that we can always bounce it off of each other. So.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
that is
heck yes, ma'am. Thank you much. Thank you much.
Yeah, it didn't do much for us, so I mean, we'll
give them a chance to redo it.
Yeah, I just recently relocated my family to Austin, actually. And it wasn't because of him, so don't get your hopes up. I don't think it's all weird now, because it's not.
And
too late. Yep, now our kids are riding around the same stroller together. Way to go, Ackles.
And the zip line between our houses, the structure was already there. I mean, the foundation was there.
Yes. Yeah, we just strung up the wire, so
we had extra wire.
We don't even need phones anymore. We just use the soup cans.
Purple monkey dishwasher.
There was, there were many reasons.
From Simpsons. Purple monkey dishwasher? Yes. Can I get a?
Yeah, there were many reasons why I wanted to come back. Obviously I've got a lot of family that live both in Dallas and around Texas. My wife grew up in southern Louisiana. Little Cajun love over there. And so she actually has a lot of family. Her dad is from Dallas, so she's visiting her side of the family today, actually. So there's a lot of family. We wanted to be closer to that. And I have, including him, I've got 3 of my groomsmen that live in Austin. So I instantly got a social network there that I didn't really have living out in California. The kind of friends that I've grown up with and stuff. It was kind of I wanted to get back to that, and I wanted to raise my kid in that environment. So. And I've got to search out some cool thing to take a picture of and then post it. So I've tried to be like, don't pressure yourself into Twittering, just let it come naturally. So if there are long stretches of time between posts, that's just me not pressuring myself to post it. It's not that I've forgotten how to do it, although maybe it is a little bit.
And then him coming up and set and going like, hey, should I tweet? Going, do it tomorrow. Don't rush.
Oh yeah, every one of them I'm like, hey, am I doing this right? I have Twitter approval from either him or somebody very close.
Are people going to see this?
Somebody's going to see this, right? Am I saying it right? Am I doing the hashtag thing right? Because is it hashtag? So I'm still getting a grip on it, but yeah, it's kind of fun.